I used to ruin ribs all the time. Dry as cardboard one day, falling apart like mush the next. Does that sound familiar to you? Today, I'm sharing the exact timing and the methods that turned me from a rib ruining rookie into someone people actually ask for barbecue advice. Whether you got baby back ribs, spare ribs, or St. Louis style, and whether you want them competition tender or with that perfect bite, I've got you covered. But first, let me ask you this. Have you been making the biggest rib mistake that 90% of beginners make? I'll reveal what it is in just a minute. But first, let's smoke some ribs. And here's that mistake that I mentioned, trusting time over feel. Your ribs don't wear a watch. But before we get to timing, let's pick the right ribs. And this matters more than you think. Spare ribs. These are your workhorses. They're meatier and more forgiving. And they're packed with flavor. Perfect for beginners. Now, St. Louis style ribs are just spare ribs that are cleaned up. They have more uniform cooking, and they're my personal favorite for presentation. And then you have baby backs. They're leaner and they cook faster, but they're easier to overcook. But they are great when you nail the timing. Now, when you're at the store, look for a nice flexible rack with good marbling. Avoid anything that feels like a stiff board, because it's going to cook like that. All right, now you're home with your ribs. Here's where most people mess up. It's the foundation. Step one, you're going to pat them dry. And then step two, you're going to flip the rack over. You're going to see that shiny membrane. You know, that thing that kind of looks like plastic wrap. It's not going to allow the flavor to penetrate. Nothing gets through it. So slide a butter knife under it, grab it with a paper towel, and peel it off in one satisfying strip. And then here's a pro move. If it tears, don't panic. Just get what you can. Perfection isn't required here. And here's my seasoning that beats any store-bought rub. I like to use a coarse salt, pepper, garlic, paprika. This is your foundation. Season both sides. Coat everything. Top, bottom, sides. These ribs should look like they're wearing a jacket. And now here's the hard part. You gotta wait about 30 minutes and let that rub get nice and sticky. Go ahead and prep your smoker, check your wood, maybe grab a beer. And by the way, if you're new to backyard barbecue and you need a little extra help with cooking times and temperatures, I have a free guide for you. It's perfect for getting started. It covers everything from meats to veggies. Just drop a 100 below in the comments and I'll send it your way. Time to fire up the Masterbuilt electric smoker. And yes, there's a right way to do this. Set it to 225 degrees Fahrenheit if you got time to babysit. Or you can set it to 250 degrees if you want dinner before midnight. I'm going to go with 225 degrees Fahrenheit today. And the wood matters more in electric smokers than people think. I'm going to go ahead and mix some applewood and mesquite. And here's an electric smoker hack that nobody talks about. Crack your chip loader just a hair. It's going to provide better airflow and more consistent smoke. Now for the moment you've been waiting for, the actual timing. But here's the thing, I'm going to give you 3 different methods because your perfect rib might not be my perfect rib. Method 1, the 3-2-1 classic. This is fall off the bone territory. It's going to be 3 hours naked in the smoke, 2 hours wrapped with butter, brown sugar, and a splash of apple juice. Then it's going to be 1 hour unwrapped with your glaze on. It's going to be about a total time of 6 hours at 225 degrees or 235 degrees Fahrenheit. They're perfect for family dinners and people who like very tender ribs. Now, some competition guys say it's too tender. I say feed your family what they like. Now, method number 2 is the 2-2-1, and they're perfect for baby backs. Baby backs cook faster, so we adjust. 2 hours smoked, 2 hours wrapped, 1 hour with a glaze. So the total time is going to be about 5 hours. And the wrap saves the baby back ribs from drying out. They're lean and they need that extra protection. Method number 3 is the no wrap purist method. Do you want maximum bark and maximum smoke flavor? Then you're going to want to skip the foil. So it's going to take about 4.5 to 5 hours straight in the smoker. You're going to spritz every hour after the first 90 minutes, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, maybe some juice and some water. And this is my go-to when I want ribs that taste like they came from a competition. You're going to forget the clock and you're going to watch for that deep mahogany bark. Then use the bend test. Pick up the ribs with your tongs. They should bend about 90 degrees without breaking. You could also use the probe test or toothpick. You want to make sure that it slides in between the bones like it's a hot knife through butter. And here's the final step that can make or break your ribs: the glaze. I'm going light with a sweet barbecue sauce, just enough to add shine and lock in that bark. If you add your sauce on a little too heavy, it masks all your hard work. So brush it on nice and light, and then get them back in the smoker for another 30 to 40 minutes at 225 degrees Fahrenheit. You want that sauce to tack up, not run off. And here's an alternative. If you hate a sweet sauce, try a vinegar-based sauce. Or just hit them with a little bit of butter and sprinkle on your dry rub. Believe it or not, simple works wonders here. Now, time for the money shot. Use a sharp knife and slowly cut right between the bones. Let them rest for about 10 minutes before slicing. Yes, even ribs need a rest time. And let's go over our rib times one last time. Spare ribs, using the 3-2-1 method, so 6 hours total. Baby backs, we're going to cook them at a 2-2-1, which is 5 hours total. And then your no wrap method is going to be 4.5 to 5 hours straight. But remember, trust the bend test over the clock. Also, here's another tip. Start your ribs early. Better to hold them warm than to rush them to the table. So that's 3 different ways of how long to cook smoke ribs in a Masterbuilt electric smoker. But ribs aren't the only thing that you can smoke in an electric smoker. Check out this video right here where I cook an amazing prime rib roast in a Masterbuilt electric smoker. You aren't going to want to miss this one. It comes out awesomely juicy and has a perfect bark. Check out this video right now, and I'll see you there.